What's up, folks? Dallas with Blade HQ. I'm here with Buck. I'm here with CJ Buck, actually, so technically Buck, right? CJ, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
It's been what, a full year since I talked to you?
It has been. And it was a few years prior to that with all this COVID.
Yeah, I'm just glad to not have a mask.
No mask, and it's nice to see attendance at SHOT back to what feels a little more normal.
Oh my gosh, there's probably twice as many people here this year as there was last year.
And not a single mask.
Oh, not a single mask. But unless people want to, then they're wearing them. However, let's talk new product.
Yep.
Everybody knows I love Buck knives. I mean, that's what I use for hunting. The Buck Pursuit Pro line, literally all of them, we use them. I got the small one. We went out, did an elk and a half with the small folder, the Pursuit Pro small folder. We did an elk and a half, and I was just tickled because we didn't have to sharpen it. Anyway.
That is a nice benefit.
Oh, it's an amazing benefit. All right, where do you want to start?
We'll start at that end
The
because
Alpha?
we just won some awards. So we were at the Black Rock show and the Alpha series. So this is kind of a reintroduction.
Yeah, I remember these.
So it's just a small. Well, there's a small and a large version. They're just a nice little Skinner, very much designed of all the numerous ways you will hold a knife while hunting.
Yep.
So while deconstructing an animal in the field, you hold that knife many different ways, and forward, backward, upside down, and around, choked up, pulled back. There's jimping, there's shape, there's contouring. Everything about that is making it comfortable, all the various ways you will hold a knife.
So when I notice when I'm dressing out an animal of any kind, these pinch points really make a difference. I got short, fat fingers, so the pinch points make a big difference. And with the jimping in there, if you're up there working an animal, I mean, you can really get up there. And honestly, I like a smaller blade. I've never used a 6-inch blade to dress out an animal.
No, there's a lot to do with field dressing an animal where you're flying blind. You're up underneath the rib cage.
Yep.
And a longer blade is just something that's going to interact with you in ways you're not intending.
Let me show this one here because this is just another model of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a different color handle.
I'm sorry, version, not model.
And then we have the larger. Then the larger version is the other one.
The blade length on this is what, 3 inches?
Pretty much,
just under 3 inches.
Yeah.
I don't have the cheat sheet. I'm sorry, folks. I don't have the cheat sheet right here in front of me.
So there's a 420HC version, and then there's a
Pro version, right?
Yeah, there's a Pro version, which is an upgraded steel.
Yeah, the S35.
S35VN.
Yep.
Yeah,
with the Boss heat treat.
So just the Boss heat treat. You were talking earlier about little things holding edges for long periods of time. That the S30VN just does that. So that's the green handled one. Is the Pro.
We'll show
version.
the Pro in just 1 second. This here's the Pro as well. Okay, look at that one. So that's got to be about what, a 3.5 inch blade?
Yeah, there's the larger blade.
I'm not exactly sure on the measurements here, folks. I don't have a cheat sheet in front of me. I apologize. I really do apologize.
There's
a cheat sheet.
For both of us.
For both
of us.
Okay, so the large version is 3.6 inches long on the blade. But look at that. Look how it fills the hand with that finger choil on the front. And with the jimping here on the spine, you got pinch points as well. So when you're dressing out the animal or whatever you're doing, I mean, this would work great as a camp knife as well.
Yeah.
It's not too big, it's not too bulky, and man, that handle sure feels delicious. Is that a word? Can we use the word delicious with the knife?
Yes, for knives.
For knives.
So when you look at a drop point blade, so is you're using a knife in a way where you might be popping joints or needing something where you're putting a little pressure on. The beauty of a drop point is, one, you get the whole evidence of skinning, so you're just not tweaking things. But two, that tip is thicker. Yeah. So it's a much stronger. It's stronger if you're working.
Exactly, because then you got some leverage. I think that's how they say it on Pirates of the Caribbean. But you got some leverage. If you guys can see that, the thickness. It's got like a distal taper a little bit there for some strength, and with this grind on it, oh my goodness, this will be my next buck knife.
It's going to be solid. I will be hunting with that one.
Folks, I want you to understand though, CJ doesn't only just own the company, but he also uses the products. So when I say this thing is good for skinning or dressing out an animal, when I say it, you can probably bet that it's probably a good choice. When he says it, you know he's put it to the test. So
Yes,
I just
sir.
want you to understand that Buck Knives uses their product, that's for sure.
Yeah, I will say from a new product standpoint, everything you see out here, there has been really strong intent
Oh, yeah.
behind what's driving design. Every shape, every nook and cranny of that Alpha series we just walked through is
the
there
Alpha
for a reason.
series. Oh, the Alpha
it's
series
there for
is
a reason.
amazing.
Yeah.
And like their Pursuit line, there's your, I won't call it, well, I'll call it regular, and then there's the Pro that has the S35 on it as well.
Yeah.
So, I know that was a little bit of work to get there, folks, but we're there. All right, let's move on to the Deploy.
Okay, so we've been, we started working with automatics years ago.
Sure.
And so that is the Mini Deploy. So the Mini Deploy is a under 2-inch blade. So that one is legal in California.
California legal.
But I had the opportunity this last summer. I was down in San Diego working in my in-laws' house. Just doing some repair work, and that knife was my drywall trimmer, tile chipper. I mean, that little blade in the S35B just did marvelous. I was really, really pleased with it.
Man, it's snappy with that short little blade on there. Again, under 2 inches, and the handle. God, it fits it's a 3-finger hold for me, which is totally fine for a California legal auto. This is a really fabulous little knife. And a deep carry pocket clip, look at that. That's a deep carry pocket clip, all blacked out hardware, blacked out blade. I like that. I really do appreciate that. I've always liked the Deploy line anyway. It's a great knife. I mean, Buck not only does your auto, the 110 auto, but they also have the Deploy line. It's fantastic. It's a great EDC knife.
So this is the blackout version,
Yes.
and then this is our standard Deploy and Mini Deploy.
So there's the blacked out.
So
Let's
just
show
all
that.
blacked out.
3 1/4-inch blade, aluminum handles with a deep carry pocket clip, all blacked out hardware with the safety. Can you see the safety in there? I really like that.
Yeah, it's not on the Mini, but
No.
the larger version
Let's go
has
back
the
to the
safety.
Mini real quick so people can see it. So it's not got the safety, and that's probably couldn't fit it in there, I would assume.
I like it. I mean, otherwise, accessing your knife is too complicated.
Exactly. And the blade length on this one here, the exact blade length is 1.8 inches, so just a hair under 2 inches. Again, aluminum with the deep carry pocket clip. And the price on this one here, the MSRP is $245. You'll see it coming in probably the $225 range, give or take. I'm not exactly sure. And then on the large, you're looking at $275 MSRP. Again, it'll probably come in a few bucks shy of that. Now, real quick, we've went through this half of the table. When will availability be for all of these, or are they ready?
Those are already ready.
These are already ready?
Those are already ready.
Yeah, some of these are already in
They were
production.
mid-year
I knew
releases
that.
last year, last summer. So,
exactly.
So those are already in line and doing just fine.
All right,
Okay,
CJ,
so
what else we got?
So with the, this is called the Saunter.
Oh, a little slippy.
So it's a slip joint.
Here, let me hold it out there, folks, so you can be a little more comfortable.
So it's as well, just kind of an updated version. It's 150 MSRP.
Okay, perfect. And it's a great little slip joint. What is it, about just a hair under 3 inches? on
Yeah,
the blade?
yeah. My Carta handle, 2.5 basically.
2.5. So we're 2.5-inch blade, micarta handle, slip joint, and you've got your little lanyard hole here. I appreciate that. Does it have a sheath or anything that comes with it?
No.
I'm okay with that.
It's just for pocket.
I'm okay with that because as a kid, you throw these in your pocket and then you go fishing.
Yeah.
Or you have it in your tackle box, just a little slippy.
The beauty is the micarta with no butter guard. The micarta really really doesn't wear against things in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
So it really is a nice thing to carry in your pocket. And there are places where lockbacks or locking blades are legislated. So it gives you an option for a very strong, and we worked on it, a strong engagement for the slip joint.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
it's one of the stronger ones. It's but it's also smooth.
Yeah.
As well. I want to show this the traditional butt blade right there.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Yes, it is.
I love
It
it.
is.
God,
Yep.
it's a nice little slippy. I like that, and it fits well in the hand.
So it began its life as a special project,
Oh yeah,
and it just was so popular it became a product.
it came a product.
Yeah,
I love
it's funny
that.
how these things, how that works sometimes.
All
Okay,
right,
so
perfect.
so another thing we're introducing is a Packlight series. It's a reintroduction.
I'd say you've already had the Packlight before, correct?
We had introduced the Packlights before, so these are a little different shape,
Thank you.
but they also have a removable handle, so it just gives you a little bit more to hang on to.
Yeah.
And
And I like the handle on there, actually. I could see it being like a skeleton frame. You could wrap it even in paracord if you
you
wanted.
could take that off and wrap it in paracord, which
And
a
the-
lot of people have done.
And it won't interfere in the sheath either.
No.
I did notice that. But with these inlays here, these little micarta scales, they have like a pinch point with some texture, so you can get a good grip in there. You can get a good purchase with that jimping.
A
so you
lot
can
of the
work
similar
animal.
you saw on the Alpha series, it's a lot of the same thought process went into shape and jimping and how to hold.
Yep. Without the heavy scales on
Yep.
it. This here would be something that I would throw on my backpack.
Mm-hmm.
This would be
Yes, sir.
something I'd throw on my hunting pack, definitely. You could even EDC this, actually fairly simple. The blade's
Yeah.
about 3 inches, I would assume.
Yeah, that's
Um,
which one is? I think that's the caper. So we have multiple different blade shapes.
I like this one myself. This is the one I really like. And the reason why I like it is because it's thinner and it's lighter. It's something you could EDC if you felt like it.
I love that one.
Oh, there you go. That's more boning knife
It
right
is.
there.
It is.
Let's take a look at this one
It
real
is.
quick. Now this comes in a regular and a pro line, correct?
Yes, sir. So 420HC is the regular line,
Yep.
and then the S35VN is the pro line.
I'll show you a picture of that in just 1 second, folks. I want to get some good shots of this. This is more the boning knife.
Yeah.
So I want folks to see that. So it's got some strength back here. It's not bendy. It's not made to bend necessarily. It's made for your boning. So you're going to use this to process your animal. And it's got kind of the thicker with like a taper down to it. So you got the strength and the base down here. And it's got the high flat here. So it's the high flat grind. So it's slicey
Yep.
with a little
Yep.
Persian tip there.
That'll be my camp kitchen right there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this could very easily do anything in your
Yep.
camp kitchen. You could EDC this one. I EDC all of them actually.
Yep.
If you have big enough pants, you could EDC even the biggest ones.
That's true. But
let's-
and so these things, the with the sheaths, they're not really designed to be belt worn. They're
No.
nice to slip into your pack. And me personally, I do not like climbing around with lots of stuff on my belt.
No,
So I like just having the pack. I can dump the pack whenever I need to.
I like having things on my pack right here,
Okay.
so I can grab it if I. And I'm not saying I'm going to fight a bear. I mean, I
Yeah.
could. I would lose, and it would be a fun fight.
Yeah.
Well, no, it wouldn't. I would just die horribly. Anyway, if you needed it for any reason, it's right here. You can see what
Yeah.
you're doing. You're not going to cut your face off or something crazy. And then here's I'm just going to show one of the pro line, just for contrast here. I don't want to.
Yeah. Use your thumb and
Yeah.
there you go.
Those sheaths are very good. I just didn't want to punch in the face. Boom. So there's the difference in the handle. It's the orange handle, S35. The length on this blade is going to be what, 5.5 inches? Is that
Yeah, I
about
think
what
so.
it is?
Mhm.
So 140.
Yeah, 140 for the
So
too small.
140 for these. These are the pro line. These are S35 VN. So you're looking at the pro line here in S35. It's about a 3-inch blade, just a hair under 3 inches, right about 3 inches
Yep.
actually.
Yep.
For both of those. And then the price on the two large blades is
175.
$175. That's MSRP, folks. That's MSRP. So these are the S35 version. The orange handle is the 420. So, which again comes with the Boss heat treat. It's really awesome. I really appreciate it. I put these not these, but I put your heat treat and the S35 to the
I'm
desk.
so proud of.
It's held up. It has blown my mind. Every time I've used it, it's blown
Well,
my mind.
it is important to note that even when people use the same steel, if you don't heat treat it correctly,
Oh, yeah.
You don't get the same performance out of it.
Well, the heat treats, I mean, yeah. Heat treat comes down to edge retention and corrosion and stuff like that. So let's see here. I'm trying to put them all away. Oh, I got it. All right, now let's move on to some of the fun stuff. I mean, all this is fun. This one here is one I'm really excited. I want to show the folks this one first.
Okay.
Because I get caught every year. You ready?
How do you do?
It's the bolster lock. I love it. Every year I get handed this, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's the bolster lock. And every time he laughs at me for it. But yeah, it's got the
It's an assisted opener.
Yep, it's an assisted. You undo the bolster and flip, and then it closes that bolster. I don't know if you guys saw that. Let me do it one more time. I'll try and hold it where you can see it better. So you undo the bolster. Let me see if I can fire it here with, I wonder if I can do it this way. And it locks it. And now it's locked. And that's a strong lock too. Anyway, give us a name on this one.
So that's the Paradigm Shift.
Paradigm Shift. Oh, dang it.
It's ivory, oh, come on.
So the Paradigm
Carbon
Shift.
fiber, no, it's, I'm blanking.
Where's your cheat sheet?
G10.
G10,
Ivory
thank you.
G10.
So we have the Paradigm Shift with the bolster lock. It's an assisted open knife with the Ivory G10, deep carry pocket clip, and the Raindrop Damascus, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the Raindrop, can you guys see that? Did you get in there on that, Ben? Oh, it looks good. This is a beautiful piece. I just like to, the bolster lock, I just like to throw people off with it. You know?
It really is a nice technology.
Well, and you can operate this
very
one-handed too. And it locks it in. I really appreciate that. What's the price point on this, CJ?
$700.
$700. And is this limited run then?
It is limited run. Well, it's limited for the year.
Yeah, the yearly run that Buck does.
This is a 2023 limited edition.
Perfect.
Legacy knife.
I love it. Should we move on?
Yes, sir. Okay, that's the Bearhead 110. So it's a drop point blade.
Bearhead 110.
And because we took the rear butt off, the rear bolster off, so we're calling that a Bearhead.
So the Bearhead Buck 110, it's got the rear bolsters gone off of it. Oh, with that texturing on there, that feels good.
It does.
And it's got the drop point, so it's a 110 with
it is
the
a
drop
110.
point.
Nickel silver 110.
Oh, look at that.
Blade steel is, can you read it on there?
Yeah. The blade steel is S45.
So S45.
Yep. Let's get a good look at that. Maybe you guys can see in there blade steel and everything. I'm sorry, I just put my fingerprints all over it. Jenny just had a heart attack. She's over there going, no, Dallas, not fingerprints. This is a beautiful piece.
It is.
And this is their limited line, so it's the ones they do. Buck does this every year. They pick a few items to limit to a certain amount of production for that year, and then it's over. Which I appreciate. I really like that blade shape too. You guys did very.
Yeah, drop points are.
Oh, you guys did a good job with that. 2023 limited edition. All right, now the traditional Buck 110.
So that is the titanium sided, screw together, so it's a Torx.
Yep, Torx
product.
I was just looking at that. Look at this. Deep carry pocket clip. Look at that titanium. It's got this nice finish to it. You see that? Look at those thumb studs. Let me turn it to where you can see those thumb studs a little better. That gives you a lot of purchase on that knife.
The one-hand operation, you can reverse that clip back and forth on either side.
Oh yeah, look.
If you want to.
For you lefties out there. Look at that. And it's got kind of a ambidextrous work in here.
Yeah, some of the liner locks and stuff tend to be right or left-handed, but the great thing about a lock back with the thumb stud on either side and the ability to relocate that clip, it's a good lefty version.
I really do like that. And that's one thing where the lockbacks come in with that strong lockup. And I'm going to see, I'm not very...
Yeah, that one you got.
Well, I've got short little fingers.
Well, because the lockback provides so much tension against it, it's way different than a liner lock. You really have to train yourself to anticipate that tension. But once you learn it, it becomes second nature.
CJ, what do you got in your pocket?
Well, funny you should ask.
What does the owner of Buck Knives carry in his pocket?
Little mini deploy right now.
There it is.
So this thing.
That's the one you were carving and drywall and everything.
No,
with?
the one I was carving on. I have a board member that lives in Los Angeles, and I left it with him. I used the daylights out of it. I was so happy with how it functioned.
That's
And
been used.
that small blade made short work of anything I put it to.
You know, I've said it. Sometimes you don't need the giant blade to do the trick. Sometimes shorter blade works just fine.
Yep. Nope.
Well, CJ,
There we
it's
go.
been a blast. I'm sorry, folks, it was a little all over the place, a little unorganized. George had to step out for this video. He'll hopefully be back on the next one. Folks, it's been a wonderful, wonderful moment, a great time, a blast from the past for me. I loved it. CJ,
Thanks, Dallas.
thank you. Thanks, folks.